Money on my mind, gotta hustle and grind. Financial literacy always on my mind. I'm stacking knowledge, no time to waste. Gotta invest smart, gotta keep up the pace. I'm reading books, learning all the tricks, studying the market, making calculated picks.
What's good, everybody? It's your boy Reckless Ray Dinero. We are back at it again with another episode of Crypto Portfolio Updates. Today, we're going to have a little conversation. We'll try to add a little bit of something towards the end from a content perspective to add value. And today, we're going to be talking about emergency planning for your cryptocurrency because mistakes were made. And we're going to talk about it because obviously we're documenting my journey. So when you have an emergency come up, that's when it brings it to the forefront of your mind. So what we're going to do is I'm going to ask you guys, I'm going to request you guys, go ahead and hit that like button. If you've been here more than twice, I'm going to ask that you hit that subscribe button. While doing that, make sure to hit the bell notification, turn all notifications on so you get notified as soon as these premieres drop. And lastly, for those of you who are in the Wolf Pack already, I'm going to ask that you share the video, get the content out into the algorithm. This is going to be a good one. But yeah, let's go ahead and jump on into it. Let me go ahead and micro machine myself down here. As of this recording, which is Tuesday evening, October 21st, happy hump day to those of you who have made it this far into the week. If you're not having the week you're wanting, it is not too late to make the adjustments and changes. Allergies. I can't adjust that. But as of this recording, we've got Bitcoin sitting at 108,116. 108,136. The market is a moving. Ethereum has been drugged down with Bitcoin to $3,842.40, which puts us at a Bitcoin dominance of 57.5% and Ethereum dominance of 12.5%, with gas fees sitting at 0.126 Gwei. Moving on to the top trending coins as of this recording. We have at number one, EVAA protocol. At number two, we have Chain Opera AI. And at number three, we have Open Campus. Moving along, we're going to go ahead and jump into the top 5 gainers and losers. I am hoping that you guys are getting value out of this, seeing how the market is moving, seeing what's going on, getting hype, getting sad. Hopefully not getting sad. I hope everybody's just getting hype. But yeah, we're gonna go ahead and keep it pushing. We've got first up the top 5 gainers. I hope everybody gets an opportunity to bask in the glory of being on this list or having one of your coins be on this list. You know how we personalize everything that we're into. At number one, we have at rank 76 Chain Opera AI with a gain of 61.9% in the last 24 hours. At number two, we have at rank 832 Moonbase Coin with a gain of 61.5% in the last 24 hours. At number three, we have at rank 499 Paparazzi Token with a gain of 44.8% in the last 24 hours. At number four, we have at rank 461 River with a gain of 42.9% in the last 24 hours. And last but not least, we have at rank 955, we have EVAA Protocol with a gain of 41% even in the last 24 hours. Moving on, we are moving to the top 5 losers. Now, I hope that if you do find yourself on this list, this is a position that you were looking at getting in that's offering an opportunity for you to start your entry. If you are actively dollar cost averaging and you find yourself on the top 5 losers list, I'm hoping that it's giving you a really juicy dip to get more dip on the chip. Shout out to Michael Tran. And you're getting a little bit extra on your DCA. At number one, we have it rank 492 with a loss of 29% in the last 24 hours. At number two, we have it rank 320 soon with a loss of 23.3% in the last 24 hours. At number three, we have a rank 254 Binance Life lots of different characters that I'm not even going to try to pronounce because I don't want to do a disservice to anyone, but it's Binance Life, with a loss of 22.1% in the last 24 hours. At number 4, we have a rank 790, Kgen, with a loss of 23.4% in the last 24 hours as the active list numbers are changing. And last but not least, rounding out the list, we have at rank 713, Bounce, with a loss of 20.3% in the last 24 hours. Moving right on along. We've got in our active portfolio, we are down 2.3% on the day. We are climbing in the losses. We are down a total of 23.1% total. And as we sit here, we're going to go ahead and jump on in and give our top 10 holdings list. Not a whole lot has changed. Well, a little bit has changed. Okay, let's get into it. At number 1, we have Solana, SOL. At number 2, we have Ethereum, ETH. At number 3, we have Thorwallet, DEX, TGT. At number 4, we have Aave, AAVE. At number 5, we have Jupiter Perpetual Liquidity Provider Token, always a mouthful, JLP. At number 6, we have Radium, RAY. At number 7, we have Superverse, SUPER. At number 8, we have Injective, INJ. At number 9, we have Avalanche, AVAX. And last but not least, at 10, rounding out the top 10 holdings list in our active portfolio, we have Akash Network, AKT. Now, we get to the fun stuff. So I got a new car. I didn't get to buy it in the fashion that I wanted, but the next one I probably will. Actually, the next one I definitely will, because I'm gonna plan a little bit further ahead. We got some more content coming on the car. One of our Wolfpack members, shout out to Jamal, helped me out with that. We're gonna be plugging some of his stuff because I found out, like, you never know the resources you have until you run into an emergency, and then people start showing up and you're like, oh, I didn't know that you had that ability. Well, Jamal can ship you guys cars. So we're going to start, I'm going to start, he helped me get the deal that I wanted, even though I didn't get it through him. He helped press the place that I got the car from, and help me verify that it was the best possible deal that I could have pieced together in that short amount of time. And yeah, we're going to be plugging his dealership because he can get you cars sent to your driveway, which is pretty awesome. And I did not know that he could do that. So we're going to start talking about that. That will be added into the description starting with my episodes next week. This week has been rushed. I am rushing every single day. I'm just trying to make sure that I get enough sleep because I'm rushing to the point where we're encroaching on sleep. And I don't like having my sleep score be below a certain point. I'm trying to really reel that in. It's one of the things that you do when you get older. You try to make sure you're sleeping enough because you don't want to be schizophrenic or crazy. And yeah, so in the process, the only reason I brought this up was because it's part of the story. So in the process of me cleaning out my car, I've been going through this thing where, just being honest, I have my private keys on me for my cold storage. And I was having them on me every day. Like, I was not putting them down. And when I cleaned out my car, I remembered that I forgot that I'd left them in the car. And I'm cleaning out my old car that I no longer have to sell. And I'm pretty sure I brought it back in the house. But I also think that it could have, I could have left it in the glove compartment also, or it could have fallen out of my pocket and gotten under the seat. Or it's in the bin in my new car, and I need to check that, clear that out. Because no, it definitely isn't, because all the stuff, the loose stuff that I pulled out of my old car that I had in my hand was in the seat. And so this is where it comes down to, I was rushed when I was doing this, and I did not have my emergency protocol. The reason I had my private keys on me is because I did not have my protocol set up the way that I wanted it, which is you have it in 2 secure locations. And in all honesty, neither of those locations needed to be here physically in my house. That was the other thing. So with that said, I lost them. That's the long story short. Now, in my panicked state, I did remember how to get into Ledger Live, and I remembered my pass keys for my Ledger devices. I don't use them that often. I use Ledger Live once a month for sure when I do my financial wrap up to see what I'm holding and to get my total off Ledger Live. So I had a panic attack. Then in the midst of the panic attack, I was like, emergency protocol. Like, what do? You empty out the ledgers before, if you lost it and someone found it that knows how to set that stuff up. Because like if I found some private keys, I know how to empty out the wallet. You should live in a world where you assume that everyone is as competent as you are. Fortunately, we do not live in a world where everyone is as competent when it comes to crypto as me. But still, you don't just lose your private keys and keep using your device. Like, that's crazy talk, especially when you have over $100,000 in there. So my priority was to offload my ledger, which I did, which means that now this guy is useless because it's compromised. Actually, both of these guys are useless. So both of my original ledger, my original first ledger that I bought, and then my second ledger that I've been using for probably about 6 years now, these are worthless. These are worthless. This is just worthless device because it is compromised. It's compromised. Like, look at it. It's compromised. This is a compromised ledger. Can I still get into it? Yes. Do I still have the ability to link it up to Ledger Lives and run transactions through it? Absolutely. But somebody else could also be sitting watching it now. Same with this one. So I get to get new cold storage, is the long skinny of that. The conversation I wanted to have is having an emergency protocol, like knowing that, hey, if you do something that compromises your ledger device, empty it. It's first rule of Fight Club. Your ledger becomes compromised, move all your stuff as soon as you think it's compromised, because once you think it's compromised, unless I find those private keys, it's compromised. Because they're somewhere, and then God forbid that like you forget how to access it or forget your PIN code or something, then you're really boned. Because like I can't even just get a new ledger and reopen the wallet. So that's number one. Number two, actually, I guess that's probably emergency protocol number 2, and then replacing the ledger, getting it set up, actually having my emergency storage of my private keys the way that they should be. I don't recommend keeping them at your house, and I don't recommend keeping them you need 2 copies. I mean, I guess you can keep it at your house, but generally speaking, I prefer 2 places that aren't my house. It's just I was in a spot where they were at my house and I didn't want to just leave them at my house currently. Like, I just been having some weird juju feelings about it. Like, I don't know. And I've just been keeping them on me. So once I get the new ledger, we'll be able to sparse those out to the 2 places that they're supposed to go. And also being able to, like, one of the other things that I've realized is it's like how you store your keys. So that's another big deal, because I do believe in cold storage. I like being able to hold my crypto. I know a bunch of people are like, hey, like there's the ETFs, you can buy MicroStrategy, you can do all this other stuff. And I'm like, well, that's cool. I don't even like keeping my crypto really on exchanges unless it's actively used crypto. Like right now, we're building up a cache of Satoshis over on Strike, so that way we can start leveraging. And I'm okay with that, but like, you know, that whole Bitcoin, that's retirement. Like I want hold on that. Like I don't like when people say, oh, well, like I hold gold, and it's like you hold a gold ETF. You don't actually have gold bars. You don't have $100,000 in gold bars at your house. Like you just don't. It's not real. You don't have gold buried in your backyard. You're not a pirate. These are not real things. You can't go anywhere with your gold if you have it. Like, you don't have custody of it. So technically, it's not yours. If the ETF, if we find out one day that they lied and they don't actually hold that gold, then your ETF's worth nothing. Also, your ETF redeems in dollars. Another thing. It's the same thing with your Bitcoin ETFs right now. Same thing if you hold MicroStrategy. You know, I know a lot of people, I love them too, the treasury companies, but for a different reason. That's Bitcoin I'm willing to sell, because those settle in dollars whenever you get through. As much as they go up, it's just like, okay, so like if dollars are worth nothing and the ETF's worth $1 trillion in dollars, they're holding the Bitcoin, you're stuck in dollars. I mean, the math won't math after a certain point, especially if you go into a state of hyperinflation and the currency debases. Like, that's the exact opposite reason I hold Bitcoin. But I do like them for dollar exchange, because that way I don't even have to worry about messing with the Bitcoin. I don't have to convert it. I can go, cool, I'll just sell off some of this, you know, treasury company and just get my dollars that way, because I'm not letting go of the Bitcoin the same way they're not letting go of the Bitcoin. There's a reason that they're marketing ease to you. Whenever you do something that's easy, there's a cost. The cost of buying MicroStrategy is MicroStrategy gets all the Bitcoin. You don't have a claim on any Bitcoin. You just hold MicroStrategy stock that redeems for dollars. They win. I mean, if that's the case, then everyone send me money and you can be like, hey, like, I invested in Reckless Raid and Arrow and I can have all the Bitcoin too. Like, that's, I mean, win for me. Like, great. I'll give you dollars whenever you want them. Cool. What are we doing? So there's a logic piece of that I don't, either I'm missing it or I don't, or the hype around it is just something that's beyond me because I've been in Bitcoin so long. But the emergency planning for knowing what to do when something does go catastrophically wrong, because like that could have easily been one of those stories where it's like I lost my private keys and I can't get into my ledger, and now I can't access all the wealth that I had. Like, there's a personal accountability piece on there, which is why duplicates are important. 2 separate places, because what if your house burns down? It'd be really unlucky to have the second place that you stored the second set of your keys also burned down at the same time. But that's the reason they have fireproof safes. Like, that's also part of the emergency plan. Fireproof safe. Like, having a safe is important. As we move through these tumultuous times, because some of you aren't even going to be in that respect, but having a financial emergency plan is important. Like, what happens if stuff goes dark? What happens if the power goes out? Like, what are you doing? Where are you going? Where are you storing the information for your accounts? Like, what about your significant other? Do they know how to access the accounts in case something happens? Is there a procedure in place where somebody comes and walks them through that? Maybe like a friend that's responsible. Make sure your family's taken care of, like those types of things. But for me, a lot of it rests on cold storage. I am an advocate for it. I've been in the space for going on 13 years now. And this is the first time that something like that's happened. And I know exactly why. It's because I was being manic with my private keys and keeping them on me. And you know, I had a stressful situation where I had to get rid of a vehicle, purchase a new vehicle. And in the process of cleaning out the other vehicle. And like, when I remember when I saw it, I was like, I need to put this up. And I don't know where I sat it down, or if I sat it down, or if I still had it on me. Cause like, I could have sworn I had it in my back pocket for a while. So I might've just left it at the dealership. And, you know, fortunately, after the initial panic, after I got home with the new car and got to get going with that, I went into my emergency process for, hey, your ledger's been compromised. It would have been the same process for if my computer got hacked. It's just like, hey, I gotta beat you to the punch on this. I'm gonna move the money. You can have access to it, and that's just where we're gonna be with it. Because if you get into a hardware wallet and nothing's in there, even if because like, not your keys, not your crypto, so whoever has those keys opens up that wallet, they'll see whatever was there. That's what they get. Nothing. There's nothing in there that's of value at this point. And so, obviously you can still sift through and see the transactions in and out, like what's been going on with it. But as far as the identity piece and like where the stuff's sitting now, they'll see I guess if they're that deep into it, they'll be able to see where all those transactions that touch that wallet go. Like they can do that. But you're just seeing a story. You got, because you'd still need me at this point, because there will be a replacement ledger. And then after we replace it, it's sealed back up again. And then we'll have the 2-factor storage on that. So that way, if I ever, I'm not ever going to lose it again. That's just the rule. Like I'm not playing around. But, accidents happen, and they happen to everybody, including myself. So like, that's my horror story, my panic story. It's very important to, especially with crypto, to have an emergency protocol. Like, how much do you keep on exchanges? Because at a certain point, like if it's too much for you to lose, I've also had money that got trapped on an exchange that crashed. And if the exchange goes down, just so everyone knows, it's in fine print on every one of the user agreements that you all clicked agree to. If they go insolvent and your crypto is sitting on their exchange, that is not your crypto. It is their crypto. And for reference, when Celsius went insolvent and crashed, it took probably about, I think, a year and a half, 2 years before I got some. And for me, since I didn't have that much left on there, because I started moving stuff off when the news articles started coming out, the chatter was going around the crypto space. And I was like, well, I don't want to take everything off, but I found another exchange that did what I was trying to do over there and moved it to that platform. And that platform did not go insolvent, but I had about $2,000 stuck on there for about 2 years. And then after the court settlements, and they were supposed to pay everybody back what they could, I got about $800 back. So you're not going to get it all back. So, and I had friends who had over $10,000 on there, and they did not get anywhere close. Like the more you had, it seemed like the less of what you had you got back. So part of that emergency protocol is how much is comfortable. Like, what are you willing to lose? So like, if you're not willing to lose $20,000, you should not have $20,000 on an exchange. If you're not willing to lose $1,000, if you're not actively trading it, you should not have over $1,000 on an exchange, because if anything goes wrong, and that's not to say that like Coinbase has never crashed, but if something did go wrong, you sign an agreement that said, hey, if we're holding your crypto, it's ours. That's why I'm an advocate of putting everything on cold storage and having a protocol for if your wallet gets compromised. Also, I don't trade out of my cold storage wallet. I know a lot of people use their ledgers and link it to other stuff. I do not do that as well. My ledger is just for me to look at once a month to verify. And I only have to hook the ledger up once to set up Ledger Live. I put it away, put it in storage after that, goes in the safe, never comes back out, because I'm normally not transferring out of that account. I can pull the address and save it to transfer in. Once I have those accounts set up on the new ledger, I just copy them. I have the address. I can send whatever in. I don't need my ledger to send in. You only need ledgers to transact. And I do not use my ledger and link it to any sites, because 90% of people who are have their wallets compromised and drained, they click something. They link their wallet to it. So if you're going to do that, you should have 2 cold storage devices, one that you trade out of that's separate, and then one that you don't look at, like that never touches the internet. Because planning for the worst case scenario, which I didn't plan on losing my private keys. That's actually a worst case scenario for me now. But planning for the worst case scenario is literally the best defense for having yourself compromised, because no one's coming to kidnap you to get into your wallet. Like, that's ridiculous unless you're a personality and you're going to like events and making it known that you have 20 million Bitcoin or whatever. Under normal circumstances, most of the people who lose their cryptocurrency, it's because they were doing something in DeFi and they clicked on like a spoof site and agreed without like knowing what they were doing, and then allowed their wallets to get drained. It's not hackers getting into your computer. It's you click something 90% of the time. At this juncture, it's you click something. So just something to keep in mind, little conversation at the end of the episode. You guys can go ahead and just take me to task down in the comments. I'll read them and probably make funny faces because, that's on me. Like, I did that. And that's part of ownership, is being responsible. And also putting you're in a position where you can mess up, and I messed up. So anyways, hope you guys liked the episode. This has been another great episode of Crypto Portfolio Updates. On your way out, do not forget that like, share, and subscribe. And until next week, it's your boy Reckless Ray De Niro, and I'm out.
Money on my mind, yeah. Focus, got no time for games, nah. I don't play, man, I'm all about that financial literacy. Investing in my future, building generational wealth. Dollar bills, they be calling my name, but I ain't chasing fame, I'm chasing change. Learn the game, now I'm playing it smart. Putting my money to work, it's an art. I'm stacking paper, building my own empire. No more living check to check, I'm getting higher. Investing in stocks, real estate, and more. Gotta secure the bag, that's what I came for.